Y'all, what's up? We are getting ready to go live for our ultimate 3-day boot camp for PCOS healing. I've been so excited to bring this to you all. Go ahead and tag a fellow PCOS healing sister to join us in this live event. If you have any questions, post them in the PCOS Q&A threads that I can answer them for you. I will start tagging just a few people and we'll get started in just a few minutes. All right, y'all, I'm back. I'm gonna tag just a few folks, let them know we're live and we're ready. If you're here with me, please leave a comment. Leave a comment so that I can hear you and see you. Welcome to day 1 of the PCOS. Hey, Tanisha. Welcome, Tanisha. I see you in the building. Share your intention for what you'd like to get out of this 3 days together. If you have any questions, Tanisha, please post them for me in the comment section. So let's tag everybody. Let them know, like, we're here, y'all. We're here. Let's see. Hello, welcome. Hello, everybody. Comment and let me know that you're here. Let's see. Hey, Tanisha, how's your day going? Beautiful. Hey, Thelma, welcome. Hello, nice to have you here. So wonderful to see you. All right, it's 3 o'clock. Let's officially get started. How about it? Okay, so I've introduced myself a few times, but just in case you're new to me, I want to just let you know who I am and what I'm about here. You can see the screen okay. You should see break free from your symptoms on the screen. Please let me know. I want to make sure that everybody's seeing everything okay. If it's not, if the sound is not good, if we're not seeing everything okay, just let me know. Okay. Bear with me. I'm just making sure everything is looking good and it's okay. Okay, we're good. Wonderful. You can see it. Okay, wonderful. Thelma and Tanisha are in the building. Great. Okay, so getting started. What are we really talking about here? Today, I want to answer the question, like, how do we reverse PCOS? When I was asking everyone, like, hey, what are your top questions for me? This is like the biggest thing, right? Like, how do we actually reverse PCOS, Yasmin? So let's jump into it and talk about how this works. We want to break free from those symptoms of PCOS that make us feel like there's just too much to bear sometimes. You know, those most challenging ones where it's affecting our mood, it's affecting our relationships, it's affecting us emotionally and mentally. When we're dealing with PCOS, it's not just about a set of symptoms that somebody could write down, right? It's also about how those symptoms affect us emotionally. And so we want to be able to not just break free from those symptoms, but heal all the damage that we have sustained in trying to deal with it, whether it's the hair thinning, the balding, acne, unwanted facial hair, mood swings, bloating, fertility problems, the list can go on. And so we want to stop that sense of hopelessness. There can often be a sense of confusion about it too, where you're just trying to find like what really works. I don't necessarily want to use metformin or birth control. I want to learn some holistic, natural, and effective remedies and a pathway to reversing these symptoms over time and for the long haul. And Jolie, welcome. I see you here. Welcome. Please share what you'd like to get from our experience. Dominique, welcome, welcome. Hey, hey. So we're going to dive deeper into what this holistic pathway to reversal is all about. I want you to come away from this 3 days with a clear understanding of first how to get some quick symptom relief. And that takes reducing your male hormones, aka androgens, including testosterone, which some of you may have seen on your blood work that you have elevated testosterone. We want to understand deeply how this began so that we can go to the root cause, the primary root cause that's driving your symptoms, and heal that root cause so that we can then reverse the symptoms and this condition clinically. We want to be able to get the blood work that says you no longer have PCOS one day. So I want you to walk away having all of the information that you need to make that happen for you as an individual, and then offer you ongoing support so that you can have support, accountability, coaching, and community to help you put those steps into action. But I'm giving it all away. So you'll have everything you'll need to be able to do this, okay? I know you're tired. You're tired of going on diet after diet. Some of you are doing aggressive or chronic cardio, trying to lose weight. Hey, Nisha, welcome. You know, at the gym, working out hard, or dealing with medical professionals that are not listening to you. Maybe you've tried taking the medications that the doctor prescribed for the facial hair or for the fertility. Maybe you've taken birth control and had to deal with the fallout of how that impacted you that long term. And we all know that these things, if they had given us true relief, we wouldn't be here now, right? And so, Nisha, share with us what your intentions are for this experience. We want to hear what you want to get from these 3 days together. So we're here because we're looking for a better way. We don't want to just manage PCOS symptoms. We want to get rid of them for good, and we want to thrive in our bodies, in our minds, and in our hearts and souls. So this pathway is a pathway that will help you balance your hormones, restore your fertility. It's going to help you have radiant skin and an even mood. And these are all the things we can do when we get rid of these PCOS symptoms. Quinetta, welcome, dear, welcome. And so maybe you've tried taking advice from online people. Maybe you've tried the herbs that such and such lady said worked for her and nothing happened for you. Maybe you've spent thousands of dollars on supplements like I did in the beginning, trying to find something that would work. And it became a never-ending story, and your symptoms are still lingering. Maybe you did go to a health coach or a doctor or endocrinologist or specialist and saw some initial, improvement, but maybe not long term, or maybe there's still those lingering things that haven't been taken care of. So Nisha says she's ready to learn a better and healthier way. Well, come on in, girl. We about to jump into it. You maybe even thought about, hey, maybe I should just stay or get back on birth control or use the metformin or glucophage or whatever medication and pharmaceutical option you were given. But the more you research, the more you come to understand that things like metformin and birth control have a fallout. They have nasty side effects that you will have to address at some point in the future, even if they give you some short-term relief. So even if you choose to go with a pharmaceutical option, there's no judgment or shame around that choice. But I want you to be fully informed that those options can have consequences for most people, including destroying the gut. You may notice if you're taking something like a metformin that you end up with IBS or gut distress and digestive problems down the road, or maybe even when you first start taking it. And that's because metformin literally destroys the ecology of the gut. It kills all the good bacteria. So then you have to do gut repair. If you've ever taken this, I want you to repair the gut. I want you to understand that it's going to take some time to recover after taking pharmaceutical options, but you surely can. And it is a part of this pathway to reversal that we're talking about, because again, this is not just about reversing your symptoms, but it's also about healing all of the holistic damage that dealing with the symptoms and the pharmaceutical options may have caused you as you've tried to solve this. So Tanisha says she desperately wants and needs to lose weight and that her A1C is steady increasing. You're not alone. 70 to 80% of women with PCOS have insulin resistance PCOS, and they are dealing with raising blood glucose, unstable blood sugars. Their A1C is climbing. So you're not alone. And, as a coach that also works with patients who are reversing type 2 diabetes Monday through Friday, I can say it's so possible. And the remedies and the ways of eating that will help you reverse that A1C and bring it down are the same things that are going to help you with PCOS symptoms and to lose weight and make it much, much easier to lose weight. So there's hope, and we can get into that when I have a surprise bonus on day 3 that's all about weight loss. So stay tuned for that, Tanisha. So I have a bold question for you. What if you could stop going down that rabbit hole of just treating the individual symptoms? Because it hasn't worked, has it? What if you could quickly relieve some symptoms and learn the root cause of your PCOS, rapidly understanding it so that you could thrive and clinically reverse PCOS? It's not too good to be true because I've done it for myself and other clients. But I'll be honest with you, even though I have mapped out this pathway as simply and strategically as I could, that does not make this easy. I've noticed that for women to be successful in their health goals, including reversing PCOS, losing weight, reversing insulin resistance, we need coaching, we need support and accountability, we need strategic resources that are going to help us make behavior changes so that we stay consistent with the things that we know that are going to help us. We need community and sisterhood with other women that are going through the same thing. So I'm working to provide that for you all, because this roadmap is a powerful tool, but to put it into action, we need those other elements. So if you've never heard my story, hey, Samia. Hey, beautiful. Welcome. Please share your intention for what you want to get in the next 3 days out of this boot camp with us. So with my story, I was diagnosed at 13 years old, and that particular doctor told me, oh, you'll never have children without the help of medication. And I was put on birth control and metformin. And due to the side effects of the metformin specifically, I missed over 50 days my junior year of high school. And that metformin just really tore me up digestively. And so I was very, very inspired to come off of that medication. So when I turned 18, I made a promise and a vow to myself that I would learn how to deal with this naturally. I did not know that that vow and promise would open the doors to such a beautiful experience and career and opportunity to support other Black women in their health in the way that it has. So I studied with a naturopath in the beginning in 2011. 2013, I got my BA in psychology, and I worked as a crisis counselor, helping people with mental health crisis. I became a neuromuscular massage therapist, helping people heal injury and rehabilitate. Samia says she wants to heal so that she can birth a child naturally. Yes, girl, come on. I was just about to say, I became a birth worker. So I've worked as a doula. I've worked in fertility. I've worked and been blessed to sit at the feet of midwives and absorb their wisdom as a midwife's assistant and apprentice. And I've worked as a health coach officially for the last 4 years with weight loss and diabetes patients. So all in my efforts to truly understand what is holistic health, I wanted to understand the mind, the body, the emotions, the spirit. I've worked as a ceremony and a meditation leader because I want to understand myself and others as whole beings. So to do this, we want to reverse PCOS from a very holistic standpoint. We want to be strong and healthy in every aspect of our beings. And this is how we reverse it and heal from all the damage that we went through. So I have personally clinically reversed PCOS. I had insulin resistance PCOS, and I'd say my subtype was adrenal once I had my children. But I was able to birth 3 happy and healthy children without fertility drugs. With the first child, I did take Avandia, which probably helped me to ovulate. With the second 2, I was on absolutely no pharmaceuticals. I live with pain-free periods. They're light. They come in unannounced. And I can embrace that time of the month with wide arms and just use it as a time to be in deep reflection versus having pain or heaviness or apprehension of it coming. So these are some of the biggest things that I've done personally for myself. So, I was able to reverse so many things. I got down to my lowest weight. And then last year, while I was at my lowest weight, I faced the most stressful period of my life. Living in this pandemic world as a single mom, facing a short notice move, and being laid off work at the same time, I gained 40 pounds in a very short amount of time. And I felt like I was starting over. I didn't feel proud of my body and the previous success that I had. I learned a very hard lesson that PCOS is reversible, but you have to stay consistent to remain in a reverse state. You have to stay consistent, or it's not something that will just stick. If you're hearing me and you hear that consistency is key, I want you to drop consistency in the chat for me, please.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second, y'all.
Okay.
Need to mute this participant. Okay. Drop consistency in the chat for me. Yes, Tanisha, consistency is key, y'all. So after doing all of that and gaining all that success, I lost so much of it because I faced one of the most stressful periods of my life. It was so humbling, but it made me learn, and it made me a better coach, and it made me understand better how to help somebody when they're coming out of a depleted and stressed state so that they can quickly see progress on the scale, in their mood, in their energy levels, and come out of this thing slinging, y'all. So I tried a few things, jumping right back into the same workouts, the same fasting routine, the same food choices that always worked for me in the past. I tried doing it solo. I didn't want anyone to know I had fallen so hard. I tried doing nothing and praying that it would just get better. And I told myself that there had to be a way to feel better fast. I had to face my financial needs, and I needed to feel good in my body again for myself, for my children, for our financial future. I needed to be able to focus, right? So I told myself there has to be a better way. And I found that better way. That's when it hit me. PCOS requires a radical level of self-care. I decided to create a reset plan that would restore my energy and support weight loss without overtaxing myself. Y'all drop radical self-care in the chat. That's not your normal level of self-care. It's probably above anything you've ever done in your life to date. The type of self-care that we need to reverse PCOS is above and beyond what we've done in the past. Sonia, welcome, welcome. We're talking about radical self-care, my dear. If you could share your intentions and what you want to get out of this 3-day boot camp, that would be great. So what did I start to do? And what did I start to see? Let's start with what did I see? I started waking up full of energy again without that midday slump. I felt that stress dissolving in my body and my mind, and my mood was elevating. I had not gotten a new job yet. Everything was not in place yet. The stressors were still there, but I was able to face the stress better. I saw the facial hair decreasing again and my skin improved. I felt my relationship with food go back to this easeful place where I felt happy with each meal. I felt inspired and lit up to go in the kitchen. I didn't feel apprehension about food. I saw 10 pounds of weight loss in just 8 weeks. I saw the difference in my face. The swelling went down and I could feel that inflammation leaving my body. But you know, the best thing that I saw, I was able to get back to myself. You know how we feel like we lose ourselves when we're dealing with these things? I got back to me. I got back to being a better mom. And let me say this, I'll always be honest and transparent with you. I am still on my journey. Yes, Thelma, she wants to lose weight, lower A1C, get some energy, and be able to get pregnant and have a child. Come on, yes. And we are here with you to stand in that intention. I'm still on my journey, but it has taken way less time to get back to where I need to be. It took me years to arrive here, whereas now I can do it in months because I have a way better plan. It's more strategic, it's more evidence-based, and I have found a joy in having enough energy to make memories with my children. They are 15, 7, and 4. So how does it work exactly? I told you what I saw. I saw some great results for myself when I put this reset together in the beginning. All it takes are 3 simple steps. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to reset the body. We're going to discover the root cause and then begin reversal. We reset the body in step 1 by regulating the nervous system and getting quick symptom relief. In phase 2, we uncover and learn how to treat the specific root cause of your PCOS. And step 3, we make step-by-step changes to your mindset, nutrition, lifestyle, and embrace your unique path to reversing PCOS. We want to make change that sticks. I need you guys to shift your mindset from symptom management to reversal of PCOS. So drop PCOS reversal in the chat if you're ready to make that mindset shift with me. We no longer need to just focus on individual symptoms. We want to focus on reversing the entire condition. That takes strategy, patience, and consistency, and these 3 steps. So can this really work? You know, maybe you need some more reassurance. You know what? In just 1 week of following my method, Lauren started having steady energy in the day and a change in her skin. That was just the beginning. She was having a steady day of energy with no need for a nap after having very low energy. These are my before and after pictures. So here, like I said, I was feeling swollen. I was feeling achy and heavy with low energy in this before picture in the blue. And 60 days later, this is me following my own reset program, 13 pounds lighter with way more energy. I felt better. I felt more like myself. And it's just getting better and better. And it's been so exciting to watch my own journey as I continue to show up on video to serve you all. Like I can see the changes in my own face continuing to happen. So it's possible for me, it's possible for you. So welcome to the PCOS Reversal Roadmap. This is a roadmap for Black women who are ready to reverse PCOS, who want to balance their hormones, reset their metabolism, and restore fertility. So let's jump into the actual pathway to reversal and talk about the roadmap. And what we're going to do is go into the guide section of our group and look at it together so we can go through it as the roadmap to our reversal process. One second, and I'll share my screen so we can look at it together. This is going to be your roadmap to reversal, but this will also be how this challenge is going to roll while we're together. So I want you to go to the guide section and make sure that you download every resource, because on Monday at midnight, all of this will be coming down. And if you want to continue to have access to it, you'll need to join the 9-week live coaching experience that will be jumping off on February 5th, and it'll go until April 9th. And that's where all of these materials, plus much, much more, live sessions and coaching support, individual coaching as well as group, will be taking place. So I really look forward to supporting y'all in that live coaching platform. But until Monday, all of this will be up for your use. So make sure you watch that welcome video. If you have questions, pop them in the Q&A thread. Introduce yourself and tell us who you are. I want to learn more about you and your journey and what you'd like to get from this experience. So if you haven't downloaded the Discover the Pathway to PCOS Reversal guide, it's a quick read, but it does give you some more background on how this was developed and why I've put certain parts into place. So as we were talking about, we have phase 1. Phase 1 is where you're regulating your nervous system and you're getting quick symptom relief. Then there is another resource available to you as well, which is the infographic about a 9-step roadmap. So it's the same thing, just listed into 9 steps. This first step is to reset your system. We want to get, again, that quick symptom relief. We want to get to feeling better. We want to have more energy emotionally and physically and have a clearer mind to be able to think. This is going to set the stage so that you have enough energy to take you through the rest of the long-term process of reversing PCOS. Before you jump into this plan, I want you to understand that change happens in stages. And those stages include pre-contemplation, contemplation, and preparation. When you are in pre-contemplation, you're not really thinking about how you want to change, but you're kind of feeling the discomfort of what you'll want to change in the future. When you enter into contemplation, you start to think about, maybe I need to change X, Y, and Z. The discomfort gets so bad that you're ready to start thinking about it. In this contemplation stage, you start to think about the cost of not taking action, and you think about what it will cost you to take action, and you begin weighing the pros and cons. And when you decide that it's worth it, you're ready to make a change, you move into preparation. And in preparation is where you will go and make sure that you organize everything so that you can put time on your calendar to make sure that you are making space for the healthy habits that you'll need to do every day. So once you finish preparation also can include learning which is like learning about this roadmap, learning about your root cause and what you need to eat, and learning all the things that this takes, right? Mute Christelle, thank you for thank you for coming and being here with us. Please drop your intention, what you'd like to get from this 3 days together. And so when you're in preparation, you're really learning, you're thinking about how to make sure that this happens in your life, and you're organizing. And so this roadmap is designed with the stages of change in mind. You have to spend time contemplating and preparing before you take action. The more time that you spend in contemplation and preparation stages, the better the outcome will be when you take action. So I want to encourage you not to rush this process. Take your time to really organize your efforts, get really clear on the vision for your health, and take it slow, like one step at a time. And so to help you with this process, I've designed a daily action list. I've shared a nervous system regulation webinar, so you can learn exactly what it takes to regulate your nervous system. You can learn exactly what it takes to get quick symptom relief as soon as possible. Quick symptom relief is really done by reducing androgens. Did y'all know about androgens before joining this group? Drop a comment and let me know if that was something that was already on your radar, or if that's something you're just learning about. From what I've noticed, most women with PCOS don't really have an understanding of androgens until we meet. When it comes to androgens, they're really just male hormones. And what happens is, no matter what your root cause of PCOS might be, whether it be inflammation, insulin resistance, stress, or maybe you just came off of birth control, all of these root causes are going to cause a spike in your male hormones. And so the first thing we can do to relieve harsh PMS, heavy periods, unwanted facial hair, thinning, male pattern baldness, is to reduce your androgens. And we're going to do that through spearmint and DHT blockers, which I've listed here. You can get it as a supplement. If you are on a budget and you need to just purchase one, I would go with saw palmetto tincture. If you just need to add just one more thing to your spearmint, so that you can reduce androgens. You want to have a powerful mindset shift. And so this is why step 3 on this roadmap is to change your mindset. You want to adopt a nourishing mindset that opens you up to the possibilities for reversal versus management of PCOS. You want to have a radical level of self-care where you're unapologetically putting yourself first so that you can be at your best. You deserve it. And this takes a mindset shift because, again, most of us are over-functioning, overdoing. We put other people before us. And it's just a very common emotional pattern among women with PCOS. So we have to rework that mindset. And it's so important to take care of this before we take action. So before you start the daily action steps, before you jump into taking any herbs, before you start putting in a meditation or restorative exercise practice, you want to visit your mindset. We will go deeper into some mindset shifts tomorrow. We'll be doing a live meditation session together. So I will be supporting you in making these mindset shifts. And so the second phase is to uncover the root cause. We want to know what actually caused it. Of the 4 primary causes, you want to take the quiz that will show you what your primary cause is. If you haven't taken the quiz yet, just drop a 1 in the chat and I'll make sure that you get the link to this quiz. If you know your subtype, your root cause, please drop it in the chat. If you know whether you have inflammatory, adrenal, insulin, or post-pill PCOS, drop your subtype in the chat. And you might just find a sister who's also going through the same subtype to befriend. So once you understand that subtype, then you want to learn, how do I reverse my subtype? Every subtype has its own action plan and treatment steps that's very specific. And this is going to help you get laser focused on your efforts. So you're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall. You're actually taking informed and evidence-based steps based on your root cause. So I'll share more about the root cause action plans later in the boot camp, but just know for now, as we overview the entire process, that this is where you begin to uncover your root cause, learn what to eat, what not to eat, and you want to address all possible drivers that could be driving your PCOS symptoms. So we're taking a look at total body health by addressing all potential drivers. So we first want to get your root cause taken care of. Once we get that taken care of through nutrition and lifestyle changes and a strategic plan with herbs, etc., then we go back and we address all possible drivers behind your symptoms. We look at what could possibly be contributing to any residual symptoms. So the root cause approach is very important, but then you want to come back and make sure that anything that could be throwing your system off balance, causing hormonal imbalances, and etc., is taken care of. Step 6 is about owning your health. Oftentimes, we learn about this through being diagnosed in a doctor's office. It's a very cold and sterile environment. There's no emotional warmth. There's no guidance about what you should do with your diet most often. And if you were like me and you got diagnosed at 13, at that time, there was not a lot of information about the best way to eat or possible natural remedies. The only thing I was told was just watch your sugar intake and walk and take this medication. And that was the end of the road. But there's so much more that we can do for ourselves. So in a world where some medical practitioners are well versed in the root cause approach to PCOS treatment, many are not. So you have to take ownership of your health, and that also takes a mindset shift. You have to become the authority over your body, your health, and your future. You got to stand 10 toes down, committed to yourself and your health, no matter what medical provider is saying to you. If they're not in support of you and your authority over your health and the approach that you want to take, it's time to fire them and get a new team in place. So you have to take ownership of your health. What age were you all diagnosed? Drop your age in the chat and let us know what age were you when you were diagnosed with a PCOS? And so once we have owned our health and really taken ownership over our journey, taken our ownership over our future with our health, we want to set this foundation for reversal. And that includes treating the excess androgens. We did get quick symptom relief from step 1, but we have to continue until the symptoms are completely reversed and our lab work shows that we no longer have elevated testosterone if that came up in lab work. The thing about excess androgens is that oftentimes it will not show up in lab work. You have to look at the symptoms. I see, Thelma. So Thelma, you already were in the know, like something wasn't right. Thelma shared that she diagnosed herself at 28 and got confirmation after that. With excess androgens is such a key player in our PCOS experience that we have to come back around again, right? And see, this is a key example where the lab work will say that you don't have excess androgens, but your symptoms will. And if a doctor doesn't know about the symptomology of PCOS and how important it is to look at symptoms versus lab work in some scenarios, you could be told that nothing is wrong with you, you're okay, and still be having these adverse symptoms. So we have to, again, take authority over our health. Number 8 is to balance your hormones. So we want to wait at least another 6 months after doing these first 7 steps and take some more lab work to see where our hormonal levels fall. If we still have issues as far as symptoms, or if our blood ranges of hormones are falling into less than optimal, or maybe they're in the normal range, but the low end of normal, then we want to optimize our fertility. We want to get those hormone ranges and those nutritional ranges to an optimal range, not just quote unquote normal. Blood ranges for hormones and nutrients are based on averages of people, what most people register as. They're not based on optimal functioning for you. So in the 9-week live program, I'll be sharing more about, interpreting optimal blood ranges. That's a more in-depth process. But I want to encourage you, no matter if you join us in that live experience or not, to get your lab work done every 6 months to really see where your levels are. If you're still having symptoms, do not ignore yourself. If your period is heavy, if it's lasting over 3 to 5 days, if you're having really harsh PMS symptoms, if you're having mood swings, if you're tired in the middle of the day, if you're trying to go to sleep and you're just wired but tired, do not ignore your symptoms. They are important. And step number 9 is to detox from toxins. So, endocrine disruptors are prevalent in plastics. We are surrounded by toxins in our water supply and the food that we eat. And so it's so important, because they have an effect on our hormones and our health, to clear environmental and toxins from your system and to learn how to minimize exposure. So to support you in that, I have shared, let me go to it real quick, a resource called Bye Bye Toxins. It's under Detox from Toxins. It's in Guide 4. You can download that PDF, give it a read, and it'll start walking you through how to go ahead and start that process. So this is the roadmap to PCOS reversal. Does this take a short amount of time? Not at all. No, this is a long-term process. But in the 3 days we have, you can learn, you can understand, you can set yourself up for success. You can get some quick symptom relief in as much as possible. And those things are a win, So yeah, this PCOS reversal roadmap is going to take you some time to get fully down through each 9 of the 9 steps. But that's why we want community, and that's why we want coaching and support to get us through to the other side. All right. So if you have any questions for me, please drop them in the chat. I would love to hear what your key takeaway has been from this overview of the PCOS reversal roadmap. Where do you see yourself in that roadmap? While I'm waiting for some questions to come through in the chat, these were questions that were submitted in the post that I put up yesterday, or no, it was a couple of days ago. Welcome to Dara, welcome. Do you have any questions for us that you'd like answered? And if you could also share your intentions for this 3-day boot camp. Is it better to go to a doctor and try different meds, or just do diet and exercise? If you choose to go to a medical provider, I would suggest an endocrinologist. I would suggest working with a naturopath or an acupuncturist. Okay, and we have a question saying, what specific blood work should I request so I know my levels? I would get a full hormonal panel, a metabolic panel. I would get your cortisol levels tested at the very least, and then I would get a nutrient panel done so you could see which vitamins and minerals you might be deficient in at this time. And if you go on my website, I actually have a resource that's called PCOS blood work. So I will actually drop that in the chat in this video. And so it's not as simple as diet and exercise, is it? As we've seen from this roadmap. You know, and the thing that I don't like about Ozempic, Thelma, is that once you take it, it can lead to hypoglycemia, where your blood sugar can drop too low. And it's not necessarily teaching you everything that you need to understand to be able to make all of the long-term changes. And see, it made you sick. And this is what I don't like about pharmaceutical options, and why, if you'll notice, I don't really talk about pharmaceuticals in any of my content. The only thing I allude to is if you choose to take it in awareness. And if you come off of it, let me help you restore your body back to a place of balance once you come off. So rather than looking at, you know, diet, exercise, hold on one second, guys. Rather than looking at just diet and exercise as the way to go, I really want you to look at this as a holistic step-by-step pathway that you're taking for yourself that you can customize along the way, depending on what you have the emotional and mental capacity to put into place right now. We do not take care of our health in a vacuum. We have to deal with other life stressors as we're caring for ourselves. So that's why I designed this plan this way, so that if you're facing financial stress, if you're facing work stress, you know, maybe parenting stress or life changes that are happening around you, or just having to deal with regular stressors from a depleted or stressed out place from health issues, you need to be able to recover your energy first. So doing restorative exercise is the way to go. First, you want to incorporate meditation one to two times per day. Reduce your androgens quickly using spearmint, saw palmetto, maybe a DH blocker supplement if that's in your budget. And then you look towards beginning dietary changes. And we start with one meal at a time, ideally breakfast. Then we go to dinner, and then we just double batch dinner so that lunch is taken care of, and then snacks if you need it. So you're taking this always one step at a time, making sure that you master the step before it before you move yourself forward in this pathway. What about exercising? I've heard not to do a lot of cardio. The reason why people are guiding women away from excess cardio is because it leaves you depleted. It can actually lead to losing muscle versus fat in your weight loss journey. And in some cases, it just ends up spiking cortisol and it taxes your body unnecessarily. Now, if you're doing slow paced walking, yoga, Pilates, Tai Chi, Qigong, things like this will still be beneficial to heart health, but it will also make sure that you're not overly taxing your system and doing exercise that actually serves you in your PCOS journey. Are there specific foods that we shouldn't eat, especially carbs, or can we have them in increments? I actually dropped a video that's all about macronutrients, so you can look at that and to determine what your specific macronutrients should be. It is quite different based on your PCOS subtype. Excuse me. But one thing I can say right now is if you have insulin resistance PCOS, I would definitely keep your carbs lower. Some people may need ketogenic macronutrients if they're insulin resistant, and some people may need just a low carb approach. You have to judge that based on, if you're willing, you can test your blood glucose. You can use the scale as feedback. You can use your symptoms as feedback. But I usually recommend starting with ketogenic macros and then staying there for at least 30 days as a reset for insulin resistant PCOS. and then slowly increasing your carbohydrates and seeing how your body tolerates them. And I mean like 10 grams at a time, very, very slowly and methodically increasing the carbs until you find your personal sweet spot. All right, y'all. So I'm going to leave that link about the blood work. And I will tag everybody that was live in the video about understanding macros. Did we have any other questions right now that I could answer for you? I think that's a wrap. If anything comes to your mind, just drop it in the chat and I'll be sure to respond in the chat. This is the wrap up of day 1. I hope that you learned something from this experience. And if you have anything that's on your mind after this, you can reach out to me personally or drop a comment. And I'll be sure to answer. I'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until then, take care.